I made a video earlier today talking about how I feel like there's a coordinated effort. Some might even call it an attack on channels out there that are talking about topics of interest and giving their thoughts and opinions on things. You know, what YouTube kind of is. Like, I don't, sure, there are other areas as well, but like giving your take on information is probably the most prominent front-facing part of what YouTube is these days. But there are some people that just don't like your opinion, and they don't like it so much that they will go so far as to stalk you and find everything they can about you and watch every video you ever make and look for anything that could be misconstrued any way possible and then report that to completely ruin you and destroy you and take your videos and your channel down. And as we have already seen, and I've covered this in detail every time it happens because I feel like it's very important to make a note, if you will, a video note of the situation to cover how crazy this is. It started with Toasty, with the Mosty, how she got demonetized and went to Rumble to try to build her brand over there. And then a couple months later, it happened to Ryan Roger Athay, who did not just get demonetized, but was, for some reason, not given to him, completely banished from all of YouTube and not allowed to ever come back. And some could argue even worse, not allowed to even show up on other people's streams because that could be considered a form of ban evasion. So he cannot participate or be heard. His voice has been completely silenced. And you got to know that these people probably got off on that. And they're probably like, damn, we got one. And that felt good. We need to get more because we live for this shit. This is what we wake up to do in the morning. These incels in their parents' basements, they want to ruin as many lives as possible instead of just having a conversation or making a video response to what someone says. And I don't know, countering them point by point and saying, no, here's why you're wrong. And here's why I feel the way I do. No. They're just like, no, fuck them. We're going to take their channel down, which, I mean, I guess is a choice you could make. I mean, that is an option. It shouldn't be one, but it is an option. So after they completely banished Ryan Roger Athay from the site, about a week and a half later, Atreus has been demonetized. Now with Ryan, I could kind of see an argument for maybe demonetizing him. I wouldn't like it because I feel like demonetization is a form of censorship and silencing people. I wouldn't like it, but I could be like, okay, that guy's been kind of edgy with some stuff over the years. But at the same time, he had no prior warnings, no strikes or anything on his channel, nothing. Everything all happened at once and he was gone. It's very concerning because how would anyone know that you're doing something wrong if you're never slapped on the wrist saying, hey, what you're doing is not okay? If he's never told that, he probably is just assuming, okay, what I'm doing is fine with me because YouTube's never said otherwise. So then we had Atreus get demonetized, and I'm like, Atreus, I guess you could say he can be wild in his own way, but not nearly as wild as Ryan Roger Athay could be. And getting him demonetized, I'm like, for what? Like, what do you even do? I watch his videos. I'm like, I've never once come away from one of his videos and been like, ooh. Like I've never DM'd Atreus and been like, bro, you shouldn't say that. That's not okay. Like, and I'm the type of person that does do that, by the way, where I try to keep people in check. If I do see something that I'm like, that's not cool, I will check people. I will 1,000,000% check people because I fucking care. I care about these people, and I don't want to see their careers ruined or pushed to the side or delayed or anything like that. But anyways, I said they're getting more and more confident with each successful takedown. First Toasty, then Ryan, and more recently, Atreus, has been hit by them. There's currently an ongoing coordinated attack on my channel from the same brigade. And I said, CC, Team YouTube, even though that's all AI, as far as I'm concerned, that's not even a real person. Please stop bending the knee to these incels. And the purpose of this post is not to actually get Team YouTube to do anything. I wish that would happen, but I know better. This is more of just I want to make a note before something happens that, hey guys, I see what's happening right now. And this is just not out of nowhere. We see what they're doing right now, and they're full on brigading, destroying everything that I've built up over the past 8+ years on this channel. They're trying to ruin me right now. And I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that either. I genuinely feel like they are going out of their way above and beyond to do that. We have this Salmon Sask guy who says, sorry guys, busy running errands. Report this one. It's Smash talking about essing dicks. I don't know if it's better to report as harassment, bullying, or sexual content. They don't even know what they're mad about. They don't even know what it is that they're reporting for. They're just like, just report it because he said sucking dicks. It's like, you can't say that now? Hold up. I'm literally reading Alyssa's tweets in this video, and those are her tweets. What the hell? So they're trying to get me taken down from an automated system that would probably hear me say these things and be like, oh, that's not acceptable, or oh, that's harassment that can be interpreted the wrong way. That's very concerning. And they also said, howdy gamers, there's a great deal of content out there, so get comfortable. Here comes, he comes stronger on this one. Please report and reference the 323 mark for the completely unhinged. Streamer's insane death threat goes viral. And this is that streamer that was encouraging people that she was, what was it? She said that she would place a bounty on the head of Grums if someone took him out. And then she was like, it's just a joke, bruh. It's just a joke. I'm like, that's a fucked up joke. That's a really weird fucked up joke, but I didn't take it as that. It sounded like she was pretty serious when she was saying it. Almost like one of those I'm apologizing after the fact situations, which was curious enough in its own right. But then we have another update that just came through, and shout out to nobody for the heads up on this. Apparently, Master of the TDS has just posted, we have returned. Apparently, while we were away, someone raided our Discord to lodge a formal complaint against our channel. A very normal thing to come back online to. So, did we miss anything fun? So what we see happening right now is everyone on the other side of the fence is now taking to the whole censorship and terms of services and trying to bend what people say or find things anywhere they can to have things twisted into a place where they get you banned. I also have this that was just shared with me in a DM. And again, I have no further information on this currently because this just came through to me. Someone said to me in a DM that specifically, let me get this right here. Hold on before I share it. Apparently, this is related to the situation going on right now, which again, I don't know much beyond this, but this is what we're dealing with right now. You ready for this one? Trust me, you're not. This is from a Nathan MC Khan. I've never even seen this person before in my life. Says he's going to hate me. I'm actively working with my company as a financial transaction partner to demonetize a lot of YouTube people like him. On top of that, to build his entire life around streaming and being successful is not something he should have done. He's a dumbass. Which, to be fair, this doesn't necessarily scare me because I see this kind of stuff all the time. And it typically is like an incel loser headcanon that they're trying to scare people, and they say this kind of stuff to pretend that like there's some sort of bigwig that knows someone. They never do. They never do. But I do find it curious how it is always about taking away the funding sources and how they can't stand to see people get donations. And when money comes through, it really triggers them. And then we have uh, this Salmon Sask account that is pretty obsessed with me, if you can't tell by their header picture up there. But every single post that this person posts is about me or related to me in some way. And I'm like, damn, this is impressive. Like again, welcome to do it. I genuinely do not give a shit. I just think it crosses a line when this is the account that starts telling people to go at YouTube to get an account banned when they try to tell people to take down videos and take channels down. It says, well, now look, friends, I may not be what some call specially learned, but me thinks our pal Smash JT might just be a hair concerned here. Yeah, of, of course I'd be concerned. What the fuck? Are you a retard? Like, I've I've been on YouTube for over 8 years. When I see a threat, I would like to put the fire out immediately. If people are going to start false flagging my videos, I'm going to private them. What the hell? You want me just to be like, no, let me leave it out there so that you can ruin my channel? No, ain't happening. So these people are the actual ones in the dark corners of the internet that Alyssa always seems to put it that way, trying to say that we're the ones. But in reality, these are the people that have the private Discord groups, the private message groups, the actual attempts to take channels down in a massive hate brigade that they always project onto other people. These are the ones that are doing it to us. And it's unnerving, to be honest. And I don't like to give these people the time of day, but I think it's important to showcase them to let people know exactly what we're dealing with. And again, this person, this Salmon Sass guy, is in here right now, is in here every single night. This person is addicted to me to a level of being really creepy. It's getting kind of weird. And the comment replies are just as weird. And sure, you could say they're probably all fake accounts or alt accounts of the same person. They could be. They could be. But they do go into a very strange area of the internet. It's like these are the type of people that I like to avoid because there's nothing that good that comes from interacting with them. But at the same time, it's important to point it out when it happens. Kage of Chaos says, Smash, this is actually what breaking the terms of service on YouTube looks on X's terms of service looks like. And yes, it is. But the problem is nothing ever actually comes from it. What they're doing right now is not allowed. Like you can't do this. You can't just tell people, hey, everyone join me in banning this guy. You can't for no reason whatsoever, except for I don't like him. You can't do that. That doesn't work. It doesn't work. Radio Chimp for the 2. Didn't they say 14 more would be targeted after RRA? I did not see that, but I would not doubt that. And they never stop, by the way. This is what drives these types of people. This is what it turns into. And if they did say 14 more, imagine all 14 of those get deplatformed. You really think they'd stop? Lawrence LG Gilmer for another 5 says, like I stated in my video, they don't want convo, they want control. Controversial isn't an excuse to me. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. And that's what we're dealing with right now. They don't want to talk. They just want to silence. It is what it is. I guess they say all's fair in love and war, and they will do whatever it takes to silence you. But at the end of the day, I always fall back on the truth shall set you free, and justice, as unfair as the world can be, Justice always seems to find a way to prevail. Sometimes it just takes longer than you'd like. Disgusting is in the house for the 6 months. Dude, time goes by, doesn't it? Damn. Disgusting says, this feels like the final push of a losing group of insane people that just want to take as many enemies down as possible. Great point. When people start getting cornered and losing, they start lashing out and starting to do ridiculous things and getting a lot more almost aggressive with their approach, where it's like, usually it was like silent behind the scenes type stuff. Now it's just kind of right out there flippantly. They don't give a shit anymore. It's like, well, this is the final phase. Sir Jaime's nameless member for a month says, I've been watching you for a couple of years now. Haven't joined in on the lives till this year. I love what you and the others in the community do, bro. Nameless, I appreciate you, man. And to be fair, I didn't really start live streaming until basically this year. Like, I think it was like right towards the end of last year in December or November is when I really started nightly. But this year has been like the consistent year of streaming. And I appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. And Yossi Rizzo, I agree. It is going to get worse before it gets better. I definitely agree with that, which is what I'm concerned about. These people are fucking unhinged. Secret final boss for the two banger says, hi, Salmon Sask. Smiley face, black heart. Shout out to secret final boss. Appreciate you, bro. And yeah, I guess the best thing you can do is just monetize the haters and make them cry even more.